Welcome to the No More Late Fees podcast. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Danielle, and we're just two best friends and ex-Blockbuster employees rewatching some of the best and worst movies from the late 90s and early 2000s. This week, we are talking about the raunchy Christmas comedy Bad Santa with our guest, David. Welcome, David.
Hello.
Hello. So happy to be here. Excited.
So excited to have you here. And this is our Christmas episode.
It is.
Can
David got us these custom hashtag reminiscing No More Late Fees Santa hats.
Which is
Feliz Navidad.
Which is a reference to an amazing review he left us and came up with this brand new word of reminiscing and listening together. Reminiscing.
We'll just do ASMR for the episode.
But before we dive in, let's get into some. If you love the podcast and you want to support us, here are a few ways you can.
Did you know writing a review and or rating us helps us get more listeners? If you want to be featured and help us grow, head to Apple, Spotify, Podchasers, Good Pods, or your favorite podcast platform and leave us a review.
Have you subscribed to our show on your favorite podcast platform yet? Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it now. Do it good. Sorry.
I almost sang the next line, David. You can't do that to me.
Sorry. It's Bad Santa, so it'll be all right.
It would fit right in.
Yes, it would.
If you want exclusive content, stickers, lives, and access to our Burned Out Spotify playlist, head over to patreon.com/nomorelateFees and become a Patreon bestie. And soon we are adding exclusive GIFs that you can download and use to react in your text messaging life.
What a holiday gift.
I was literally enthralled, like, what are we giving away?
We talked about this last night, yeah.
We did. But are you surprised? Are you not entertained?
That might just be our next one. So we do want to point out that in this episode, we do have a trigger warning for a couple of things. Obviously, high alcohol use and alcohol abuse, as well as an attempted suicide. So just an FYI. Danielle?
Yes.
Enlighten us. What is Bad Santa?
I'm glad you asked. Let me just get a drink to help set the mood.
I feel like I need just like a bottle of Jack.
Man.
In this dark comedy, the crotchety, which one of my favorite words, top 10, Willie T. Stokes and his partner reunite for a holiday con every year. Posing as a mall Santa and his elf, they rip off shopping outlets on Christmas Eve. This year, however, Willie is falling apart. He's depressed, he's an alcoholic, and his erratic behavior draws the suspicion of mall security. But when befriending a small boy brings out his kinder side, Willie begins to wonder if there is still some hope for him. I'm going to say no.
You said small boy, and my brain went to...
How small are we talking?
Jackie!
Relative term.
Young boy.
He was in third grade, so I mean, he's... Yeah. But...
Anywho, the movie stars Billy Bob Thornton, Tony Cox, Lauren Graham, Brett Kelly, Lauren Torn, John Ritter. Who's Lauren Tom?
I will tell you in a second once we get to cast.
Okay. John Ritter, Cloris Leachman, and Bernie Mac. The movie was directed by Terry Zwigoff.
Yeah, you did good.
Okay, because I wasn't sure. And it was written by Glenn Ficarra and John Requa?
Sure.
Sorry.
Probably.
Sorry for that, man. Never seen him before. And you can watch this on Amazon Prime. You can rent it for $3.99. Where did you guys watch it?
I got mine on YouTube TV. Almost got it on Amazon. I should have.
I have it on DVD, but your girl don't know how to use her DVD player.
Danielle.
You mean like me
I-
with Zoom?
Yeah. Yes.
I own it on iTunes. Shocking.
But before we start, let's get into our ratings rewind.
So you know the drill. Before we get into the movie, we'll reveal the rating our Y2K versions of ourselves would give. Then at the end, we'll see if our current selves agree with our initial rating. Our scale consists of would buy it again,
The best would play and repeat,
5-day rental,
would watch again.
2-day rental,
Okay, but nothing to write home about.
and same-day rental.
There's so many like euphemisms and analogies to this movie that I could use for trash because it's trash everywhere, like in his car. But I'm just gonna straight up trash, garbage.
Basura.
David, what is your rating, your Y2K rating of Bad Santa?
Man, let me tell you. I'm straight edge these days. Like, I'm pretty much a Boy Scout for the most part. But is this my guilty pleasure, these types of movies? Because it's everything that I wouldn't do being done, and it's hysterical. So back in middle school and high school, that's when you think you're a big know-it-all. So for sure, for me, it was right up my alley. It was would buy it again. So, oh yeah, that was all me. I owned it.
I too owned it. And I, at the time, thought this was the most hilarious thing I had ever seen in my life. So I'm right there with you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jackwell?
Same. Would buy it. I owned it. A favorite of the Conley family, interestingly enough.
I'm not surprised there.
So strange.
The heart wants what it wants.
Now, you said you were going to talk about Laura and Tom. We're at the cast. I'm very curious.
We're not at the cast. We're at box office, Danielle.
Well, I scrolled by the IMDb casting. I just want to know who she is.
I will tell you in a minute. You're going to be shocked.
Shook it or just shocked?
Shook it.
Oh, all right. Box office numbers. So this movie had a budget of $23 million. Oh, and it made $76.5 million.
Not bad.
It did pretty well. A lot of cheddar coming out of this movie. The movie was executive produced by the Coen brothers. The two writers of this movie essentially approached them and said, "Hey, we want you to direct one of the movies that we write." The Coen brothers do not direct movies that they don't write, but they said, "Hey, we've been having this idea about like a really naughty alcoholic Santa that we think you should write. We'll we'll produce, but we're not going to direct it." And the director actually just came off of his hit or indie hit Ghost World. And that's how the magic got started. And I think it's Dimension Films, but Miramax bought it. So it just kills me every time we got to mention those a-holes.
I know.
But yeah, there's a lot of dirt in the casting. So I'm not going to skip over it I'm going to talk about some of this stuff. So the director wanted, like, he had a few people in mind who he wanted. The Coen brothers they initially tailored the roles for specific actors in, movies that they've done in the past. So they had like certain people in mind, like Angus T. Jones, who you may know as the half of 2.5 Men, the TV show, to play Thurman. Zwigoff was like, nah, I got other people in mind. So he cast Tony Cox for the role of Marcus and Brett Kelly for Thurman. And it caused some like fighting and disagreements between him and the Coen brothers. And the Coen brothers really didn't like the casting of Thurman. They said they hate him. This is a child.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
The most perfect casting choice ever.
Yeah. And apparently Dimension, the studio, was pining for a more Disney-like generic cute kid.
No.
Like Angus T. Jones. And Zwigoff pretty much was like, I don't really care. I want these people. And it got so bad that he threatened, like when they were trying to change it to like a cuter actor, he threatened to walk off set. He was about to, and it was actually Billy Bob Thornton who stepped in, who did a read with Brett Kelly. Yeah. And he was like, the kid's great. Best read I've had so far with these kids. So he kind of stepped in. So it wasn't good. And it wasn't the only casting. Like they were, when it came to Tony Cox, who was amazing in this movie, they were like, we
So
didn't
good.
even, I got to read this perfectly because it was hard for me to finish my notes after seeing
I
this.
know.
They said they couldn't see the guy being black. The director Zwigoff explained. He said, I don't see the guy being black. I think the fact of him being 3'6" is the overriding characteristic of the guy. I don't think it matters. I just think this guy is really funny in the part. And they thought it would ruin the film.
Wow.
No other characteristics. They didn't say he was a bad actor. They didn't say like personally they didn't like him. But the
chemistry was off.
nothing.
Nothing.
Just the fact that he was black
That is
is
insane that they were vocal like that about
Yeah.
something like that.
So who was he arguing with? Like, who do I need to be mad at?
the Coen brothers, which the Coen brothers and the studios and I'm sure the Weinsteins, like, and look, hindsight is 2020. We can look back now and know that this one still exists within the Hollywood system and know that it was prevalent because all we had to do is look at the cast of the movies that we grew up watching and know that there wasn't any diversity really. And if you look at the Coen brothers films, are we surprised? Think of every movie they've done. I don't know any black people in the movies, more maybe like sprinkle, maybe. I can't even think of any right now. Just saying. So
You're right.
Not surprised in the slightest. Pissed, yes, as a human being, but gross.
The fact that Tony Cox was in that role made the movie so great. And
so good.
Even in that office scene where they're trying to get him fired, like they use that. They use that in the script.
There are some things that, and I will get to them, that I definitely was given I had some questionable thoughts.
You had some side eye?
I definitely had some side eye, but you're right. The guy made the part. And, you know, most of these movies, especially in that time period, him being a little person, they did make a lot of jokes of his stature, but it didn't feel like punching down because
it felt like he was in on it. Like, it didn't feel like a lot of the other movies of that time where it's an easy target.
Because he could keep up. I think if any other actor had played it, it wouldn't have had that, like, and him keeping up with Bernie Mac, there's no way another actor would have been able to do that.
And Billy Bob Thornton, like,
yeah, true.
Homeboy was drunk the entire movie.
Yeah, he was. He must have been drinking for real.
He was. He said he was method acting.
Wild.
He was like, "This is the perfect part. I don't even have to stop drinking for this fucking movie. I could just show up hammered every day." But like the things he had to do and the lines he had to deliver, I'm sure a lot of it was ad-libbed, but like he never was like really slurring. I'm like, man, Billy Bob can handle his liquor enough to like, he is a functioning alcoholic pulling off this performance.
Listen to this. Billy Bob Thornton has said that he was genuinely intoxicated during some of the filming. In the escalator fall scene, he actually passed out after drinking 3 glasses of red wine for breakfast, followed by vodkas, cranberry juice, and a few Bud Lights. Now, what makes me question, like, what I hear when they say vodkas, not a vodka and cranberry juice, I feel like that man drank vodka and then had some cranberry juice
to balance it out.
Yes. Like sometimes when I have too much salty food, I think I just drink a bunch of water and it'll dissolve in my body. That's not how it works.
Right. It just dispersed from head to toe.
Right. Evenly. It just look, the water, the salt is gone. The water absorbs the salt. Because you know what? That's science, y'all.
Mhm.
You were studying to become a pharmacist, so you must know.
Also, some casting notes. When it came to Billy Bob Thornton's role, they were thinking about Robert De Niro, Jack Nicholson, and Bill Murray. But Bill Murray really liked the script, but he had signed on to do Lost in Translation, and the scheduling conflict. And Jack Nicholson, same thing. He was doing Something's Gotta Give. Don't know what happened with Robert De Niro.
Bill Murray would have been an interesting choice. It would have been different,
yeah.
but he would have brought his own element to that.
I agree.
Very good at playing an asshole. I don't know if
I don't think
he is a real asshole.
Just as Billy Bob was method acting being drunk every day, Bill Murray would have been method acting the asshole.
I'm kind of glad he didn't do it though, because he already did like Scrooge, you know, so I don't find it necessary for him to have done this one. So
yeah,
Billy Bob was literally perfect for this role.
Definitely.
I'm ready for who this lady is.
Okay, so do you remember when Ross went on an archaeological dig in China and brought back a girlfriend on Friend?
Yeah, that's the wife.
That's Julie. That's Lauren Tom. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Julie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just, you know what?
My goodness.
I was like, who is that lady? She looks familiar. And I Googled it. I'm like, that's Julie? That's Julie? Not Rachel Julie?
I knew it was her whenever I saw the movie, I knew it was her, obviously, because her voice is so recognizable. Mm-hmm. But I guess when we were doing this, I didn't know what her real name was. So I'm sitting here waiting for a real mic
sorry.
drop, and I
was shocked.
You got me.
Good.
She was.
She was done so dirty on that damn show, but that's a whole nother story for another day. All right, let's dive in.
Okay. So the movie opens and it's just a generic pub and there's a holiday party going on, and Willie, played by Billy Bob Thornton, is drunk at the end of the bar watching all of the merriment unfold. And we get some voiceover. Nothing has sucked ass more than this at the gate. And his dad was abusive, but taught him how to crack safes. So that's what he does. He is a department store mall Santa. And then on Christmas Eve, after it closes, he breaks into the safe and steals all the money with the help of his friend. What's the guy's name? I can't remember now.
Marcus.
Yes. Played by Tony Cox. So that's kind of his racket. And then he goes and he pisses his money all away during the year, just being drunk, and then rinse and repeat. So that is Willie.
And Marcus in this scene calls him out because he's like, I'm going straight, man. I'm not going to be doing this again. This is my last gig. And Marcus is like, yeah, be fucking for real. Okay, we'll see. I'm sure when I call your ass next year, you'll be right back here. He's like, you can't keep your shit together. You know, like, he's a raging alcoholic. So he proves that he's going to be fine by when the bartender asks for another. He's like, oh, do you want another drink? He's like, I'm good. You're already wasted. You're not doing anything.
You know, point proven when he pisses himself with a kid on him.
Oh,
ridiculous.
God.
Like,
my God.
The whole movie. I know we can't smell when we watch a movie, but as I was watching, all I kept thinking of were the smells.
Yes.
Because he's pissed himself, right? So you know he smells in real time when these kids are coming to sit on him. Secondly, the alcohol is just like coming out of his pores. You know that this man is not washing that suit. I'm going to say he has not washed that suit for many seasons.
That body odor, man.
He does take a bath. Thurman rents him a very lovely bath.
I ain't seen no soap. I didn't see not a drop, not a bar, not a
The water
stick,
was murky though.
not a lat from his dirt, baby girl. He had not a wash rag, not a loofah, nothing. And you saw he was digging in his ass because it's dirty.
He probably dug in his ass 3 or 4 times in that movie.
Oh, it's so good.
And I'm gonna also say he wears no underwear. Not
Just free balling in the Santa suit.
that's how, because if you think about it, I just feel like the wretch round to dig was real easy. Like, you know, there wasn't a layer, it was just smooth operator. You know what I mean?
It's part of his method acting.
Yes.
You know, he's got to get in the zone.
I was really waiting for him to go like this. That's all I was like, I was
Oh,
watching
no.
because it felt like a move he would do was snip his hand afterwards. Nasty.
So Marcus's prediction does come true. We think we see Willie in Miami, and we think he's doing well for himself. He's got a bar on the beach. He's making drinks. This man straight up just went behind a bar and was making himself a drink. He did not work there. The owner was not happy with him. There was a huge fight. He gets thrown over the bar. It was an ordeal.
I have to say, this is a poor man's Miami where they filmed.
Yes.
Wherever this was, this
I was-
Miami was awful.
I was gonna ask you guys, do you believe this was filmed in Miami at all?
I don't think so at all.
It was a sound studio.
It was filmed in California. It was not at all in my, because I was like, I know our palm trees. And I know some people might be like, palm trees are the same everywhere.
They're not.
They are not. Them California palm trees are very different from our Miami ones. So I was like, this is fake. But that scene where he was getting kicked out of the bar, when Billy Bob is trying to get over the bar, I feel like
he tried to jump over and he just didn't. His legs were like, nope. How old are you, Billy Bob? You got how much alcohol in your system? It wasn't happening.
It was bad. So I feel like what was supposed to happen was that he was supposed to be spry and jump over, but he didn't make it. So the other actor, you could see the other actor struggling to like push his legs over. I was dying laughing because I just knew that's not how it was supposed to be. Yeah.
About that bartender, he's a comedian.
Yes.
And standing in line at the very beginning, the parent, she was from Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. She was the comedian as well.
Yes.
I'm like, there's comedians throughout this whole thing.
Yeah, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but I was like, is that Octavia Spencer?
Yes, it was.
Playing the prostitute Opal. She is an Oscar-winning actress, and she's just like bit part in Bad Santa.
So when did Spider-Man come out? The first Spider-Man that we did. Was it like 2002? 2002. Okay, so she had a bit role in there. So I was trying to figure out like when.
And this was 2002 as well.
Oh, okay. So
2003. Okay. So she was still working her way. But now it's like
I see you.
I see you, Octavia.
So because Lauren Graham's in here, and I think it's Alex Borenstein is her name. I might have said that completely wrong from Marvelous Miss Maisel. So now I'm like, is Bad Santa a part of the Sherman Palladino universe? Because they were both in Gilmore Girls, and then she was also in Miss Maisel. Just a question, just wondering.
Must be.
Put it out there.
Plausible.
So Willie's back at his apartment. He's behind on rent. And Marcus calls, so we're going to Phoenix.
But he stops at the titty bar first. And yes, that's what I'm going to call it because I like it better than strip club. It's pretty boring. He goes to the titty bar and he picks up a dancer. And okay, well, going back to my cleanliness, this motherfucker has the audacity to tell her to go take a shower. He's like, you're sweaty. And she's like, I'm a dancer. And he's like, I don't care, go wash that ass. But what about you, sir? But what about you? Because you be sitting in your dirty bathwater with no soap.
The things you notice and the things I notice are completely different.
Y'all didn't notice that? That was just me.
I was just another gentleman at the titty bar at the moment, so you know, please forgive.
So he's
So
heading to Nevada right now, or Arizona?
Arizona. So he arrives. John Ritter is the mall manager? Question mark.
It's like a general manager.
For half the movie, I'm like, what does Bernie Mac do?
He's security, girl.
For the whole mall.
But you don't know until halfway through the movie when he actually is doing his job. Before then, he's just sitting in an office giving advice and eating oranges like he has scurvy. They said because he does Metamucil too, and so they're like it's interpreted as the gag was he was constipated, and so he was trying home remedies to unplug himself.
Maybe he needed a nice enema.
Maybe
just clear that out real quick.
So we see the old Santa is like being escorted out by John Ritter, and he's like, I'm really sorry. And it's all because Willie has an elf that's an actual little person.
Yeah.
That's why old Santa's being fired.
And that actor who plays old Santa, I recognized him, but I didn't know what his name was. Did you guys recognize him?
I recognized him. I'll see if I can find it. And so Willie is being introduced to John Ritter, and he's not listening because he's so drunk, but he hears performance.
Is it a trigger word for him, you think?
I'm sure he has whiskey dick like 99% of the time. He has to. So he's like, I'm good with my fuck stick or something to that effect. And he's yelling it in his Santa suit in the middle of a department store. And John Ritter's like, and Marcus is like, dude, we've been here like 2 seconds and you're yelling fuck stick, like calm your tits.
He pushed them way out of the screen after he said that. It was great.
And so then we see Bernie Mac, and John Ritter is trying to explain to Bernie Mac why we need this Santa as opposed to the old Santa, because there's a little person, but he doesn't know what to call him. And he's calling him all sorts of terms for little people.
I do like that Bernie Mac corrects him in the end, which I was surprised that they used the right terminology.
Yes. I 100% believe that was like a Tony Cox thing. Like, yeah, you have to
not fuck around and find out.
Yeah,
you'll get pushed out of the scene too.
And then he's like, Santa's already yelling fuck stick. Like, what do I do with this information? I can't find another Santa so late in the game. And Bernie Mac's like, we'll keep an eye on him.
I gotta go back to the description of little person. Okay. After he says midget, dwarf, he says not the kind with the fat sausage fingers. And I go, what
yes.
on earth? I could not believe it. And then I'm looking at his fingers to see what he's talking about. And I go, oh my God. I died. I died.
And John Ritter plays this so straight-laced. And what my dad adored quite a few, like he had his set actors that he loved, and John Ritter was one of those actors, which is originally why we saw this movie, because John Ritter's in it. We did not know what we were getting into.
I always I was wondering why I associated your dad with John Ritter, and I was like, I don't think they look alike. Why do now it makes sense?
Yeah. So it was for Dad, it was John Ritter, Tim Allen, William Shatner, but that goes without saying. So he had quite a few actors that he just absolutely loved, and so John Ritter was one of them. But yes, John Ritter plays it like You would never think this speech would ever come out of that man's mouth in a million years. And then he's talking about sausage fingers, and you're just like, John Ritter, stop.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. When I was watching it now, I don't know if I ever paid attention then.
Of course,
Like
not.
now I was like, whoa, that's ultra specific.
Yes, it was. A lot of the movie is.
It really, really is. So now we see Willie's first day on the job. He's behind the Santa throne, passed out. So Marcus has to go and wake him up. He like stumbles over to the chair. This is when he pees on himself while he has a kid in his lap. And then we get the ice cream kid.
That you know, that made me I paused it because I saw it coming. I didn't remember it like, oh, I know this part happens in the movie, but I saw it coming and I was like, oh no, Lord, no, not no. Jesus. And like everyone knows what a sneeze is like. Why was he just, but he's so wasted. He can't catch on.
He's so wasted that he does not even wipe his face off.
No, it's on him for the next 5 minutes of the movie.
Oh, it's so
ridiculous.
nasty.
Because I feel like that's a natural reaction. Like someone sneezes on you and you're like, and I've had kids do that to me. So I felt his pain deep down in my core, where a kid is just like talking to you real close and all of a sudden they sneeze and you're like, there was no warning. My mouth was open. But I mean, I would immediately go and like scrub my face in the sink.
He didn't hold his breath, nothing. He straight up just kept going.
I want to go rewatch the movie now and watch the scenes where he's Santa again and see if he ever washed the beard, because don't think he did.
That ice cream was probably on that beard the whole time.
Yeah,
you'll right.
See. Nasty.
The remnants.
Yeah, nasty. Billy Bob, you nasty.
You're so damn nasty.
Hey, how about that Christmas village from Arizona? It had that, I don't know if it was like an elf with a sombrero on it, or it was just like a kid with a sombrero on it, and the cactus trees with the lights. I go, damn, this is great.
This was a very hot Christmas movie, and I think that's one of the reasons I love it so much, because
it's so sweaty.
Because Florida, like, we don't get Christmas weather, so all the other Christmas movies are snowing and everything, and this one is just like, you know, they're hot, and I can relate. I love it.
And also the kid that asked for a Fraggle stick.
What?
I'm still trying to figure out, because we've all been there where a kid's trying to tell you something and you have no clue what they're saying, and they just keep repeating it like they know exactly what they're trying to say, and you're like, you're really cute, but I have no clue what it's like. I just turn into Marlin from Nemo. I'm like, I don't know. But that kid, and he was just like, a Fraggle stick. And I mean, Willie was just like, okay, a Fraggle stick. Move along.
Bye.
And that's the parents' problem to figure out.
Sure, I'll get you one. Whatever.
That scene where the kid's picture, and he gives
the little girl.
So he gives it to the mom, and Marcus gives it to the mom.
Oh yes.
And the kid's face is like turned to the side, and he's like, and if you'd like to pay extra for copies, it's just like, bitch, I can't even see my kid's face. I'm surprised she didn't get in trouble or like call a manager or something.
Yeah.
Which one were you talking about? You said
the little girl where Marcus is like smiling. It's like the most like cherub little angel, and she just like looks over her shoulder and smiles, and like the contrast of like drunk, dirty Willie Santa. It's so perfect. The next scene is a city bus, and it stops, and enter. Well, we don't find out his name until much later on in the movie, but once you know it, that's all you call him. Willie always calls him the kid.
Kid,
Or
yeah.
kid. But enter Thurman Merman. And his clothes are just a little too snug.
Because me mama is bad shit crazy. She's done.
She should be in a home, but there's no one else to take care of him.
Make you sandwiches. That was her one line 10 times. It was wonderful.
Oh my God.
Poor Thurman never stood a chance. He's a little rotund, got the curly blonde hair, little cherub face.
Baby boy looks like he got a dry perm. You know what I'm saying? It's not juicy, but it is curly.
Yes, it is very curly.
Yeah.
So he's walking, and these kids just pick on him constantly. The skateboard kids is what he calls them. They're bullies, and they need to be taught a lesson.
It's surprising. Like, he's like straight across, like no emotions whatsoever. Yeah. So even though you feel, obviously your heart aches for him and you're sad, he's still not like crying, mad, he's just nothing. Like, I feel like
there was something was wrong with him, right? I mean,
he may be
the entire time.
I mean, he's probably got some issues. Obviously, I think his mom probably passed away. His dad is, come on now,
climbing a mountain,
but is in jail.
Actually, it was on an adventure climbing a mountain.
Right. So regardless if you say you know where your dad is, he's been probably gone for a while. He feels abandoned. And me mama has checked out. Her body is still there. But she gone. So yeah, you feel bad for him. But I do feel like there would be a cool kinship if he ever met Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, they have the same hair.
Yes,
definitely. So he goes to see Santa, and he says something. He notices something ain't right. So he pulls on Santa's beard, and he's like, why are you wearing a fake beard? Where's your beard? So Willie proceeds to tell him all of his hair fell out. When Thurman inquires as to why, Willie replies, I loved a woman who wasn't clean.
And yet again, you dirty, bruh. Like, how dare you? I know what he meant by not clean, clearly, but yeah.
Because Willie literally says, Marcus, get this kid out of here. He's freaking me out. And I'm like, you're right, Marcus. Because he's just like, Thurman is just like staring. Just like no facial reactions, nothing. Just like asking questions, monotone. I don't know how they didn't see to cast this kid in the beginning. It shouldn't have been a fight.
Because the director said that what they wanted to do essentially is kind of make it this Disney Hallmark thing where he has a redemption arc, essentially, right?
Which like the kid with Bruce Willis, the Disney movie The Kid.
Yeah, exactly. Like every one of those damn movies, like even Santa Claus. He's a jerk and then he's Santa Claus. I don't know why that made me laugh so, and he was just like, why can't we just let this guy be a dick and that's it? Like, no redemption, no bonding with the kid, all this other crap. So he was really upset at the final product. He does not like the final product of this movie.
Really?
He doesn't. But the director's cut has it closer to how he would have preferred the movie to be.
Oh, but, yeah. God, I'm glad I didn't watch the director's cut.
Yes, because the regular script or the regular movie, it's one of the sweariest movies ever with more than 150 uses of the F word. But the unrated version, and I think the director's cut adds another 20 on top for good measure.
Ooh. I like that they refer to it as sweariest movies. I did not know that was a term.
That's a new word for y'all. SAT prep.
So Willie goes to the bar. That's where he meets the bartender, played by Lauren Graham.
Her name is Sue. We don't learn that till almost the damn near end.
And
well.
as he's sitting there, he's drinking Old Granddad, and she's taking shots with him, just getting hammered and trying to engage him in conversation. So he does not want to talk to her, but he's answering her questions. Meanwhile, the guy from Office Space is sitting across the bar at him, just like he's just like got angry face and just like.
What was that? So that's Ajay Nadu is the actor. I don't get it. His character's name is Hindustani Troublemaker. What is that?
My Lord.
No.
So
he does say, so we'll get to him, but at one point when Willie's talking to Sue, the bartender, she's like, "Are you for real?" And he says, "I'm eating shitting fucking Santa Claus." And she says, "Prove it." And then the next scene is them in his shitty ass car fucking.
Worst sex scene ever.
Fuck me, Santa.
There's just no rhythm to it. It was just weird.
It was funny is what it was.
Fuck me, Santa. Fuck me. Like, I want you to go to therapy because somebody did something to you.
She did say that she's just always had a Santa fantasy.
Exactly.
So, and Lauren Graham did hump a chair in her audition to get the role. So
it was a forbidden thing for her.
It was.
Because she was Jewish. And so she needed to bang Santa.
So she tells him she likes him, and then she goes back inside, and now Angry Man is outside, and he keeps yelling at him, "I'm not gay," all of these things. And so the only thing I can think of is maybe he was inappropriately touched by a Santa when he was a kid, and so he's harboring animosity for all Santas, and he's going to take it out on Willie.
That makes way more sense. I thought it was just a terrible gay joke.
Yes.
He turns him around and is like,
I thought he was gonna rape him. I'm not gonna lie. I was very disturbed by this.
Of course.
And yeah, I was just the whole scene unnecessary.
Yes.
Weird. I didn't understand, like, it wasn't funny, and I just don't know what it was for.
I mean, Thurman showed up and saved the day, so it was fun.
I mean, there's so many he could have gotten robbed or something, or I don't fucking know. It was just weird. But your backstory sounds a lot better, like David said, because I was just like,
Jackie.
What a waste of a good character actor. Because as we know, he's hilarious. This just wasn't an opportunity for him to be hilarious.
Yeah.
Weird. Very weird.
After he exits scene, Thurman has a lot of questions. Why are you driving this car? Where's your sleigh? The sleigh's in the shop. Where are your reindeer? They're in a barn next to the shop. Isn't it loud because of the shop? Just asking all of the questions. And then finally, Willie's like, well, let me just rob this kid. Where's your dad? That's when we find out he's on an adventure climbing a mountain. And then Mom, where's your mom? Mommy lives in God's house with Jesus and Mary and the ghost and the long-eared donkey and Joseph and the talking walnut. So then
I think we need to make, I think we need to make merch for people whose parents have died like us and have shit like this on it to make us laugh, because
oh my gosh,
I wouldn't mind having a shirt that said that he is with Jesus and the reindeer. I think it's funny.
Hold on. So then I was thinking about this. I'm like, everything else makes sense except the talking walnut. Is this another thing where the kid hears something incorrectly and just starts saying it? I'm like, what in the story of the birth of Jesus could the talking walnut be? And I asked people, I'm like, have you seen Bagged Santa? Do you know what the talking walnut is? I Googled it. I was convinced. There's no answer. I was down a rabbit hole for a good 15 minutes trying to find out what the fucking talking walnut is, because to this day, sometimes I just say the wooden pickle and the talking walnut, and no one knows what I'm talking about. So that was my night last night.
So why don't we make something up to help this burden?
Please tell me what the talking walnut is.
Mm.
The fourth wise man.
Yeah.
Brought to Jesus the talking walnut.
Right.
And then he carved the chalice out of the walnut. I don't know. See, got nothing.
Yeah. The starry night of some sort.
Why is the walnut talking? Is this like an equivalent to the burning bush, or like something like that? I don't know why. And why a walnut? I mean, it's very hard to crack a walnut.
Like a nutcracker. Can we pair it with a nutcracker? I don't. To this day, the walnut still baffles me.
Haunts our soul. All right. But
anyway,
I do
so that's where mom is.
I do love this part because he asked about the grandma. He's like, so who do you live with? And he's like, my grandma. And he goes, is she spry?
Puts that ski mask on real quick.
I know.
And the kid doesn't do anything with this. Like, he's wearing why, like, you ask all these questions. Why not ask, why, Santa, are you wearing a ski mask?
Instead, he walks in and he goes, Grandma, are you spry? And she says, Roger, you're home. Let me fix you some sandwiches. And Willie cannot believe his good fortune. He's like, you're telling me this is the only adult in the house. Your mom's dead. Your dad's on a mountain. And this is who's taking care of you. Am I correct? And Thurman's just like, yeah, she's making the sandwiches.
But he doesn't stay the night there, does he? Because he goes back to the hotel.
Right. So he asks if dad has a safe, which he does. So he cracks the safe, steals all the money, takes dad's car, and then goes back to the hotel.
No moral compass whatsoever.
No, because the next scene is in the fitting room. What happens in the fitting room, Danielle?
She won't be able to ship for a month. That's what's happening. I don't think when I originally saw this movie that I understood this scene to be anal sex. I don't think I really thought it through. Now that I'm older.
And wiser.
And then there's a lot of references to him wanting to, like, having, sexual relations this way. And I'm like, how did I miss all of this?
There was a lot to take in.
Literally.
Every 30 seconds. There's something.
And the legs in the scene, the woman's legs, that's Lauren Graham.
Oh.
Even though it was not the bartender that he was fucking in the fitting room, she was the legs.
Yeah, there's a lot of questionable sexual acts or situations in this movie. Like, kids, it might seem tempting. Movies might make you feel like you should do this and it'll be cool. Don't try to do a goddamn thing in a hot tub jacuzzi. I promise you, it will not end well. And that is especially for females. Okay? Just wanted to share that.
The more you know with Danielle.
Don't do it.
Listen to Auntie.
I suffered, so you do not have to.
You mean that wasn't on MC Hammer's?
No, he prepared me for drugs, but not jacuzzi intercourse.
John Ritter's character sees the ass fucking that's happening in the fitting room. So he goes back to Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac calls Marcus and Willie in. Marcus says he has low blood sugar.
No, well, John Ritter calls them in. He doesn't go to Bernie Mac yet. He talks to the two
that's
of
right.
them first, and he pretty much is firing them. And then here comes Billy Bob, of course, is 2 sheets to the wind, but he has enough to say, "You're being racist." And so one of my favorite tactics is to corner a white man into guilt. Pretty much is like, you're gonna fire him because he's black? He's like, I never said that. And then because he's a little person, like this whole thing. So they get out of there, and that's when he goes to go talk to Bernie Mac, which probably a little racist that he goes to the probably the only, like, what does the security guy have to do with you firing an employee?
Well, I think, is it at this point where Bernie Mac does a background check on them?
Because the background checks came out clean. So the fact that he goes to go talk to Bernie Mac about this situation is
he says they came out clean, but they weren't clean.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't do the background check till after this scene anyways.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think that's where he was going. Like, did we vet these people? Can you...
Yeah, but also I'm going to talk to another black person to show that I'm not racist. I just need to get rid of these people because he's butt fucking in the big and tall.
So let me go back to that scene with John Ritter where he's trying to fire them. This line that Billy Bob puts out there after he says, "You're going to fire this little person. Do you want 150 of these motherfuckers with little picket signs?" I was dying. This is ridiculous. Who says these things? Blew me away.
Out of control. Out of control.
So after this shift, I don't know. Sorry.
time. We don't even know when they get there. There's no time really. It just feels like they've been there for a long time.
Yeah, they just show up when they want. They greet the kids when they want. So after this encounter, Willie goes back to the hotel, and this is when we get Octavia Spencer's Opal, and she's like, "Someone's." Oh no, Willie goes, why are my lights on? And she's like, "Oh, someone's in the room." And so he's like, "Well, fuck, I can't." And so is that Bernie Mac going through his room?
No, it's Popo have found him, I think, and is, maybe it might have been Bernie Mac, but he thinks it's the cops. So he calls Marcus and is like, "Yo, I think there's like an FBI agent or something," which I think they reference on the answer machine situation too, if I am not mistaken. I could be wrong. So Marcus is like, is there a place for you to go to lay low? Mind you, Marcus doesn't say you could come where we are. First sign of times to come. So then he goes to Thurman's house to go hide out with Grandma and Thurman.
So he'll be well fed
with sandwiches.
So then we get the bath scene. Actually, he tells Thurman, "Run me a bath."
Weird.
And then Thurman's just standing by the door, just watching Willie in the bath.
I'm going to say this. I know that there may not have been any real intention, but this is very problematic for a child if this scenario was to happen. Like, the child is following him at night. He's in a strange man's car. He invites him in the house. He lets them stay there. This grown man is butt ass naked in a dingy pool of water with him. He's fucking girls left and right all over the house. He's drunk as fuck everywhere.
He crawls into bed with him.
Child Protective Services, where were you?
Yes, agreed. So Thurman's like, "Can I get you some milk, some cookies, some sandwiches?" And finally Willie's like, "What is with you in the fucking sandwiches?" And then the next morning, Thurman enters the bedroom. He's like, I brought you some orange juice. And Willie drinks it and says, what's in this? And Thurman goes, oranges.
Oranges.
And I never caught it until this viewing that Willie has probably not had just straight up orange juice without liquor in it in many movies.
Yes, because we do see him making a screwdriver for Sue one time that she comes over, and it's like a bunch of vodka and some splashes of orange juice.
It's like,
and then he just right, and he just has a straight up glass of vodka.
Yeah.
A full glass. I don't know.
And throughout the whole movie, there are very few scenes where you don't see him actively drinking straight from a bottle.
Yeah. It's like Brad Pitt in any movie where he's eating constantly.
Yes.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
So this is one of those Grinch moments where he does something that he regrets. So he's drunk as hell. He sees that advent calendar and he just goes to town. He was like December 25th, December 17th, December 3rd. Like he was going at it. Eats all the chocolates, passes out. Love that camera scene, by the way, where he's just like,
oh, it's so good.
Follows him. And then the next morning, he's like, oh shit, when he sees it. I was like, he has a heart.
He does.
He's a Grinch. He has a heart.
But I wonder if he only feels bad because the kid fucking woke up or came downstairs with bloody hands, a huge gash in his hand, yelling and screaming.
That's right.
The scream.
But like, we don't find out what the fuck he did to cut his hand that way. And then we don't ever see him bandage it or anything. Like, what is that?
And he like puts his hands on Billy Bob. So he has bloody handprints. Billy Bob, Ken goes, he's not going to pour that vodka on that kid's hand, is he? Is he? And then he does it. It's like, oh my God.
He screamed so loud. It was wonderful.
Like, I should have said this is going to sting. Like, come on, dude. But I thought it would have been cool if they had explained it that like Billy Bob and his drunken stupor left glass some weird random way place for the kid. But it bothers me. Just like your walnut, it bothers me that I don't know.
He was whittling the wooden pickle for
you don't know for 30 minutes because they don't go back to that until later, much later.
And then he's like, why is the pickle painted brown? He's like, that's not brown, that's my blood.
That's my dry blood.
I just never put two and two together. I just was like, oh, he bled on it afterwards. Okay. Oh God, so much therapy needed.
Now at the food court.
Hey, Marcus was keeping it real at the food court.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't rely on you. This is the worst season ever.
You're getting more erratic. And then a lady comes up with her kid, which, bitch, don't bug a Santa that's actively eating at the food court. He's obviously on his break. And she's just like, look, honey, it's Santa. Say hello.
I love how he doesn't stop eating his salad as he presses this bitch out.
The way lettuce flies out of his mouth as he's screaming at her. I still, like, when I think of Bad Santa, that is one of the images that comes into my mind. He's like, he's literally just like, I'm fucking eating here. And the lady's like, earmuffs her kid and shuffles him away, gives him a dirty look. I'm like, you were the one who bothered him.
I think she said, I'm going to tell the manager or something.
He owes you nothing.
Karen.
It is a Karen.
Hey, I'm just glad Billy Bob was getting some greens in his system.
I was shocked.
All the help he could get.
Some roughage.
if you think about it, we see him cook later, but we don't really see him eating anything to absorb all this liquor.
Mm-hmm. This is the point in the movie where I realized Bernie Mac is loss prevention because I wrote it in my notes. So we are good almost probably halfway through the movie, and I finally figure out what his role is. And then we see Willie playing checkers with Thurman. And Thurman's doing that thing where you keep your finger on the piece, you haven't made your move yet.
Right.
So he's calculating, but the kid has some brains because he's like calculating, and Willie's just like, are you gonna fucking go? Like, what's going on? And then like Thurman's just like, king me. And Willie flips the fucking board. And it is so glorious because you have been in that situation where you're just so mad that you're just like, fuck this shit.
Look, I'm going to tell you this. Having many siblings, I have no sympathy for playing with children. I will beat you, no mercy. And I think it helps you grow. It makes you stronger, better, you know?
Oh, I figured out where the fired Santa is from.
Wait, it came to me just now. Heavyweights.
Yes.
Okay. ESPN, baby.
Look at that. Going back to season 1.
It's our summer camp special.
Yeah.
Check it out. So some neighbor comes to the door, probably from the HOA. And so Willie answers the door and he's like, well, who are you? Where's your dad? And he's like, I'm Uncle Willie, which just sounds creepy as all hell.
Yeah, but it tracks with what we're going through here.
Yep.
I remember doing that a lot in our neighborhoods, lining with the sandbags and the candles.
Luminaries.
Don't smile like, oh, you don't know what it's called. It's sandbags. It's the bags you use for your lunch. It's the lunch bags with the sand and the candles.
Do you remember the city would dump sand on the corners of certain streets so that you could go and get the sand for the luminaries?
That must have been in other areas I don't recall.
So yes, the HOA is saying that they're going to put out luminaries, and Willie thinks it's fucking stupid, but he ends up doing it anyway in a later scene because Thurman's really excited about it. So now Sue is just a regular at the house too. And
wasn't he sleeping with a totally different girl at one scene in the hot tub scene? I didn't think that was.
No, that was her.
Yeah, that was her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think they were exclusive with the exception of the large lady in the big and tall fitting rooms.
I don't know. He was fucking all over that damn mall. So maybe he has a daytime, nighttime like situation going on. I don't know.
Hey, Bernie Mac had a good line that I missed. It was, I'm not advocating celibacy. I hope not. It would be the end of the human race. I was like, oh my God. What is going on here?
Did we get to the scene where he's getting his pedicure? Because that shit, I was dying.
Where he was like, I want the shiny top coat.
Yes, the hard candy.
Was he eating something? There was like stuff in his teeth. I'm like,
yeah. Homeboy had scurvy or something. Something was going on with Bernie Mac's character. But now Marcus is in a vent. They're doing their recon for Christmas Eve night when they're going to rob the safe. And so he crawls in the vent and he gets the model number of the security VCRs and TVs.
Mm-hmm.
So that comes back into play later. And there's a cutaway scene of Thurman going to his advent calendar and opening it for the day. It's just a fucking candy corn. Willie's just like, they can't all be winners.
I want to know what else is in the rest of the advent calendar.
The
that
only
he-
other one we see is he's like an aspirin, and
An
it's literally like
aspirin?
an Advil liquid gel.
Oh
The
my
biggest
God.
choking hazard he could find.
At least the kid is smart enough to know it's an Advil and do not eat that.
That is just shameful. He's not dumb because he
No.
does say somebody's been fucking around with something's wrong with my advent calendar.
Mhm.
Because there's all this tape on it. It just looks messed up. But
But Willie did a pretty good job of piecing it back together.
yeah.
I was
True.
impressed.
I don't understand why you just buy a new one.
That's true. Then you get more chocolate because you just like pop open the days we've already done.
I think that Thurman Merman is purposefully ignorant. Like, it's just function. It's how he survives.
It's a coping mechanism.
Completely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you just see it. And that was one of the things where when he flips the board game, he's like, "You've been playing me, kid." Because he thinks he's like, how can this idiot beat me at checkers?
But he's not. Thurman is not stupid.
Nah.
He got solid C's on his report card.
There was a B.
There was one B. But Thurman goes back to the mall, and the bullies give him the worst wedgie I have ever seen. It's completely up his fupa. It's behind David.
Do I have to go right or left? I don't get it.
Willie's just like, is that your underwear?
Not his fupa, Jackie.
It was his fupa, Danielle. There's no way around it. It was up his fupa.
Got a little belly, and that must have hurt. I have to feel like the underwear must have ripped at that point.
It had to have.
Yeah. I didn't know kids were still rocking wedgies. That's just like, why are you in my personal space that way? It's gross.
Meanwhile, while Willie's inquiring Thurman about his wedgie situation, he's rooting around in his ass, and Tony Cox ad-libbed the "you probably shouldn't be digging in your ass" line, and the director was like, "Got it, gold print, we're good."
And he loved the line so much. Like, he had a hard time not cracking up every time they did it after that, and I can imagine, because even you just relaying, I'm laughing.
That line is so good. So, and then Thurman comes back because he decides earlier in the movie, Thurman had told Willie that he wanted a pink elephant for Christmas.
Such a sweet, simple boy.
But he comes back because of the bullies and says he wants a gorilla named Davy to beat up the skateboard kids who tug on his underwear.
What? Why so specific about the gorilla? Just a question.
I think he has to live in some sort of like fantasy world to protect himself.
He has to protect the mechanism. Willie don't care though. He tells him to grow up.
Grow a pair. He said, Willie tells him, stop being a pussy. You have to fight them.
Willie's parenting guide for the non-gentle parent.
And then we cut to Bernie Mac, and he's now on to Willie and Marcus. And he's like, it's been 7 cities in 7 years. And he's talking to Marcus. He's like, I don't care. I just want in, and I want half. And Marcus is like, a third.
Let me just do this scene with you,
Okay.
because I die every time. You go ahead.
30%.
Half.
I meant 33%.
Half.
What was the next one? It was, I think it was 40%.
Half.
45%.
That's my favorite part in the whole fucking movie. It's him just mouthing.
And so Marcus is kind of over a barrel, and so he's like, okay. He even went with the 49%.
And then
Question mark.
Freddie Mac was still like half, and Billy Bob Thornton is like, it's just a fucking point. And what's the difference? Just watching these two idiots go back and forth in their negotiations made me die laughing. Oh gosh.
Bernie Mac hustling, baby.
100%.
I like how he just stayed firm in half the whole time.
So now Willie has to go and be Santa, and he's coming up the escalator. And he's like sleeping on the rail, and you know how the rail goes just a tad bit faster than the steps, so like eventually you're stretched out. And then he comes over. This is when he gets upset with the donkey and like tears that fucking donkey apart in front of all the children.
Mi burrito.
The kids, man, just everybody looks so shocked and scared. And I don't know how they didn't immediately get fired up. Well, I guess we do know because John Ritter's character is too fucking scared to fire these morons.
And I have a note here. I don't remember what the situation was, but Bernie Mac says to Marcus, I could stick you in my ass, short fry.
Yeah, oh my god, that scene where they're going back and forth, hilarious. I
just arguing and like just punching down, like, oh. So now
he said that he needs help to pick up Willie.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, go take him to the car." He's like, "Bitch, do you see how big I am? I can take his ass to the damn car."
It's physics. I weigh 97 pounds. So now Willie is trying to off himself. He's sitting in a car in the garage, has a hose from the tailpipe in the window. Thurman comes out and he's like, oh yeah, after I'm dead, give this letter to the police. And then he notices Thurman has a black eye. So he's like, what the fuck happened to your eye? And Thurman said, it's the skateboard kids. And so now Willie has a reason to live. And that reason is to teach Thurman how to beat up the skateboard kids.
I feel like I totally blacked out this whole section of the movie. When I rewatched it, I was like, this is real dark shit. I do not remember him trying to commit suicide.
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I do remember him beating up the bullies.
Yes, I do remember. Oh my god, maybe we are just like Thurman. We wipe that out of our minds.
It's like bad thoughts out, only good thoughts. So they go to,
was it the boxing ring?
Yeah, they're at a boxing ring. And what happens, Danielle?
So he begs Marcus to come help with the kid. And Marcus is like, fuck you, I'm not doing this shit. And he's like, I need you to help me with this one thing. And so he squares off with the kid, and Thurman kicks him right in the nuts, which not the best thing to do because we're supposed to be boxing here, but okay. So then Marcus kicks the kid in the nuts too. It's just, I don't think anything is learned in this session whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not true because that's eventually how Thurman gets back at the bullies. He kicks them in the nuts.
But he came up with that first. Nobody taught him that in the ring. He did it first.
When?
He kicked Marcus first. And I don't think...
Oh, that's
nobody
true.
taught him
that's
to kick
true.
him.
So, again, no purpose in this strategy session.
This is where Willie says, I think I turned a corner. I beat the shit out of some kids today, but it was for a purpose. It made me feel better about myself.
Maybe Thurman needed to be able to see that he can kick someone to do it again. But yeah, sorry. No help whatsoever.
So now, I guess he gives Willie the wooden pickle at this point. They're back at the house. He gives Willie the wooden pickle. I thought it was on Christmas Eve, but it's not. And then Willie's like, why the fuck is it brown? Why did you paint it brown? And he's like, that's my blood, because he was whittling the pickle for him.
So sad.
And in this scene, let me paint the picture. I totally forgot. Willie and Sue are on the floor. She has her top off, just in a bra, and he's like kissing her stomach and stuff. And Thurman just comes in and is like, here's your present. It's a wooden pickle. And then he's just like, good night, Santa. What did he call her?
Santa, Mrs. Claus's sister.
Mrs. Santa's sister is what he calls her.
Ridiculous.
And then
he had what, her thong was in his mouth, like
yes, the whole time.
He's talking to him.
And then the next morning is when he's like, I got good grades. Look at my report card. And this is all C's in a B. And this is when Willie learns that his name is Thurman Merman. But Thurman kind of alley-oops Willie in this scene, because Willie's very apathetic. He's like, whatever, why are you showing me this? And he's like, well, I thought maybe if I showed you my report card, I get at least one present. I haven't had a present in years. And then Willie's still just like, whatever. And so then Thurman turns around and is just like, even though I'm a dipshit loser.
So sad. And so this is Christmas Eve now, right?
I think so, yeah.
And so they get to work super early to get everything set up. And the mall cop is just being extra douchey, not really doing his security job properly, but harassing them about coming in a few minutes early. And when they get back to be able to see where the safe is, I believe, that's when it dawns on Willie, like he sees a safe. It's a safe that is not, like, can't be cracked.
Danielle, you did a Thurman Merman.
Did I skip over something?
We forgot Bernie Mac. He got offed. Didn't he?
Oh, but we're not there yet, because we haven't even.
I thought it was before the safe, though.
Yeah, Danielle's way ahead.
Oh, okay, yeah. But it's kind of like it just kind of happens that Marcus and his wife tag team and end up killing. What is his character's name?
Bernie Mac.
Okay, Bernie Mac's character gets offed.
Gin. Gin.
Gin gets like gin rummy,
like the alcohol.
Gin alcohol. Yeah. Well, Gin gets offed, and so this is when they're going to go steal now, right? So yeah, now they're like, okay, shit, they can't get into the safe.
Salud.
Thank you. So then they're just like, okay, we're just gonna go steal the other shit from the department store. Now, at some point, he wrote a letter.
That was the letter he gave Thurman to give to the police once he was offed. So the department store, the mall closes for the night. Everyone leaves. And what Marcus does is he hides in the decorations. And then he always runs and turns off the alarm, lets Willie back in. So Marcus climbs into the vents, has a universal remote program so he can turn off all the VCRs and the TVs in the security station. And we forgot to talk about this. The entire season, as they're working, we just get these little clips of Marcus's wife with like a journal writing down what she wants from the department store. So while Willie is cracking the safe, Marcus is always shopping for his wife. And so this is when Willie's like, this is the Kittner boy rebound. It can't be cracked. So Kittner is a nod to the Kittner boy, Alex, one of the people that was killed in the movie Jaws.
So
why do you think they brought them in or that in?
they might
Maybe
be fans of the movie, I guess.
Yeah.
The writers.
Must be.
Random.
So we get this really weird, like, it's not side by side, but it's like cut back and forth of Willie has tried everything. Now he's just trying to a sledgehammer into the safe. Meanwhile, Marcus is trying to get the mink stole that's on his wife's list, but he can't reach it. So he has a golf club and he's like whacking the mannequin's leg, trying to chop it down so he can get the mink.
I didn't know why, like, that scene bothered me because I'm like, wouldn't it have been more efficient to just like try to leverage the golf club to tip it over so it would have fell?
I would think so too. Yeah. You're taking up time, Marcus.
Yeah, because I don't even know if you could really chop through that. But
yeah,
again, my brain thinking about shit that doesn't matter.
You wouldn't be able to play that classical music.
Yeah,
That's
the
true.
music
That
throughout
chopping scene.
the music throughout this movie is very beautiful. It's either like classical music pieces or like very classic holiday songs.
Yes.
So it's a very good contrast to like what's happening on screen a lot of the time. But Willie finally gets the safe open. And then he's like, I got to get one more thing. He goes to a display of stuffed elephants. And Thurman did mention at one point, I think when he was switching to Davy the gorilla, he said at one point, I was coming to tell you that I wanted a purple elephant instead of a pink elephant, but now I want Davy the gorilla to beat up the skateboard kids. And so Willie is standing in front of this huge display and they're pink and purple elephants. And he's like, I can't remember which fucking one. So he finally grabs one. The cops show up. And so he's like, but I can't ruin Thurman's Christmas. So he's driving to Thurman's house to deliver the pink elephant. And as he's running up the steps, they shoot him multiple times in the back.
And there's a bunch of kids that come out. So they see that the cops have shot Santa. So everyone's flipping out. Now, I must say the line where he says later that was more traumatizing than the Rodney King shooting. I have problems with that line. Not necessary.
Yeah.
So many other things to compare to. Not cool.
Yeah.
This whole movie was brutal.
Yes.
It was just unbelievable, the shit that came out of these people's mouths. I couldn't believe it. I must be a dad. I must be a dad.
Oh, and we forgot the most important part. As Willie's trying to leave, Marcus holds him up and is like, I'm going to take you out. You're alive. We killed Jen, Bernie Mac's character. Pretty much it's me and Lois from now on. And I can't even remember what happens to Marcus. Oh, the cops.
He gets in a shootout with them. And so he and his wife are trying to get away in a shopping cart. I think he gets arrested. I don't think he gets killed, but
yes. So the voiceover at the end of the movie is that, yes, because the cops opened fire and shot him in the back. And what tipped the cops off to go to the store was Thurman gave them his letter where he confesses to like all the things. But because Marcus was in that shootout and because he got shot in the back and it was bad optics, essentially, he did not get charged with anything and they pinned it all on Marcus.
Black man always taking the fall.
And then somehow Mrs. Santa's sister becomes his temporary guardian while Willie is in the hospital recovering.
I want to talk to Arizona's Child Protective Services because y'all a hot mess in this movie.
But she does take care of him, because the part we didn't go over was after he has that conversation about not receiving presents for the past couple of years since his dad went to
Adventures in the Mountains.
Yeah, Mrs. Santa's sister does come over. She pops popcorn so they can string popcorn, and they put up a tree, and she steals grandma's pantyhose as stockings. Like, she tries to make a really nice Christmas for him. So she does care about Thurman and his well-being.
Yeah.
He's in better hands with her than with grandma for sure.
Yeah.
I was thinking for the longest time, where is this grandmother from? And it was another one of those raunchy movies. It was Beer Fest. She was the grandmama that was a whore by trade. Do you guys remember watching? She was a whore by trade. That's, everybody knows her for being the whore
by trade.
Yes.
Cloris
Leachman
is like a freaking legend.
She is.
And she was amazing.
I loved her banter and relationship with Betty White. They would be so raunchy. There's so many movies that she's in. It's just like, she was the grandma in Now and Then, which was really funny. She was in that movie You Again with Betty White and Kristen Bell. So many like other more relevant movies.
Yeah.
But she was uncredited in this movie.
Oh,
really?
Okay. That makes sense, because when I did starring it, they didn't put her name there. I was like, oh, gotta add it. But that makes sense.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
She's phenomenal. Every time she shows up in a movie, I am excited.
Because you're about to laugh your ass off, and she had no problem being extremely raunchy. So
yeah. So Willie, there's more voiceover where he's like, I hope you like your gift. Thurman like opens his t-shirt and there's writing on it, but you can't see it right away. And he goes and shows it to Mrs. Santa's sister. And he puts it on, and the writing's on the back. I'm like, did that boy put his shirt on backwards? Is the writing supposed to be on the back? I'm confused. But then the bullies show up as he's like oiling his bike chain or something. He kicks him in the balls, hops on his bike. You get to see the writing on the back. David, what does the writing say?
I don't remember what it was. I'm looking for it. What was the dang writing? You tell me. I can't.
Danielle, do you remember?
Something about being naked.
Shit happens when you party naked.
Yes.
And as he's pedaling away, he flips them the bird and
into the sunset.
Off into the sunset, and that is Bad Santa. And we get end credits where it says in loving memory of John Ritter.
Because this was his final role, unfortunately. See if there's any factoids we missed. Apparently, there's a scene with Sarah Silverman where she's teaching a class full of Santas how to be better at their jobs where they got cut. Not mad at it. Don't like her at all. At all. So happy for them. Oh, the parking lot, if it looks familiar, you may recognize it from the mall parking lot from Jackie Brown. That scene where Robert De Niro literally just shoots Bridget Fonda. Spoiler alert, my bad. I like how I do that after I say it.
I like how Billy Bob Thornton had to defend the film against the Christian right. And he said, we did get a few comments. He told Film 4, and my reply was always, as far as I know, Santa Claus is not in the Bible. I think you guys are talking about Jesus.
True. It's not like it was a kid's movie. You know?
Although he did say a surprising number of small children come up to him and say, like, I liked when you were in that Santa movie, or like,
oh my
Santa.
Lord.
He's like, what are your parents letting you watch? Like, and for Billy Bob to think this, like,
for him to have concern.
Exactly.
The original script, the final draft, was sent to Universal Pictures and it was rejected because it was the foulest, disgusting, misogynistic, anti-Christmas, anti-children thing we could imagine, all of which influenced Bob Weinstein of Miramax to give it the green light. So not surprised there.
That's what made it work, to be honest. It was just so far left field that it's just shock and awe is what they went with. And in the Czech Republic, the title is translated as Santa is a pervert, which is also kind of true. If a little blunt, I must say.
100%.
Well, if you have an opinion about this movie, about any of our opinions, make sure to hit us up at No More Late Fees on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. And let's get into our present day ratings. David, starting with you. Now that you've rewatched it as an adult, as a dad, how would you rate this movie?
My God, this was all kinds of troubling. How the hell did I give this,
a would buy it?
Buy and buy again in the beginning? I'm leveled down all the way to a 2-day run. The vulgarity, the audacity, the terrible fade-ins and fade-outs of the movie itself. The 1980s dress in a lot of the casts that are there, like just in the backdrops. I'm like, what time frame is this? 2000? So all that drops me down 2-day rental.
Me?
Danielle?
I still own this movie. I don't know how to play it though. Would I rewatch this on repeat? No. Did I still laugh? Yes.
That's a fact.
You know what? I think I'm stuck between a 2-day and a 5-day. I'm gonna go with a 5-day still. I don't hate it. It's still very watchable. There's some questionable things, but it's not as bad. I feel like we watched other movies that weren't at what?
Like unintentionally questionable.
Yeah.
Right.
Where this was intentionally questionable.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about these movies. I mean, you go to watch stand-up comedy, don't go over there to get offended because that's what you're walking into.
Exactly. So for me, I do own it on iTunes because at one point it was $4.99, and why not? But I would agree with David. 2-day rental for me. Every once in a very blue moon would I like, oh, let's pop Bad Santa in. But I will quote the pickle and the talking walnut to this day. So if you have hard opinions about this movie, if you love this movie, or if you just want to talk about your day in general, anything, please call into our quick drop 909-601-NMLF 909-601-6653. You can twat us on the Twitters while it's still around, or you can leave a voicemail on our Anchor FM account. That's for our international listeners, and you can be featured on a future episode.
I want my Billy Bob, Billy Bob, Billy Bob, Billy Bob, Billy Bob, Billy Bob, Billy Bob.
Where'd you go?
Billy Bob Thornton, Billy Bob.
Oh no!
Did you fall? What just happened?
I knocked my camera off. It was not as bad as when the picture fell on me.
That shit was hilarious. Who's up for some body swapping fun? Join us next week as we cover The Hot Chick.
April!
It's me!
I'm in here! And as always, be kind and rewind.